Okay, committee chairs, Tuesday, September 7th at 5:30. This meeting is being recorded by committee chairs. If any other persons present doing the same, you must notify the chairperson at this time. The purpose of this meeting is to prepare agendas for subcommittees for council consideration. No discussion or comments will be entertained unless requested upon the committee chairs. Madam Chair, may I have a roll call?
President Ricketts,
Here.
Councilor Gilmore, I do not see is logged in. Councilor Disorder,
Here.
Councilor Gwynn will not be able to join us tonight. Councilor Mayo,
Here.
Councilor Forgy.
Here.
Madam President, you have a quorum, and I believe she's on the hunt for a pen.
Thank
There
you
you
very
go.
much. Okay. Now I have to walk 2 rooms away to get a pen. All right. All right. So President notes. Citizens petition to the City Council to amend Charter Section 2-6, exercise of powers, quorum, rules of procedure, subsection 3, submitted by Dave Lewis. So, Madam Chair, can you tell me, I know that we can hold this and look into it for a few months. Is this something that I have to have legal look at, or?
So, if I may,
Please.
the petition, there were 2 petitions, both submitted to the council clerk on August 16th. I certified the signatures on both petitions. They needed a minimum of 100 signatures each. They both obtained that, plus I can give you specific numbers if you'd like. By Charter Section 76B, the council or a subcommittee needs to hold a public hearing. It can be either the council or a subcommittee. There are publications that are required. There are notifications that are required. And the council has to act no later than 3 months after the date it was received. And that is November 16th, which is the day before the regular council meeting. So for the council to act within the required timeline and not hold a special meeting, the council would need to vote on these petitions at the October 20th meeting.
Now, am I correct that the mayor is looking at legal for the one about the common?
Correct.
And so we don't touch that one, right? That's up to her to do whatever?
So she asked for legal opinion for that charter section. There was an opinion that was emailed to the mayor, which I subsequently emailed out to the council. I believe I emailed it out on Thursday, August 19th to the council. The mayor received it on the 18th. So I got it out to the council the next day.
Okay.
That may be an incorrect date.
No, it's probably correct. I'm behind.
I
Okay,
had the wrong paper in front of me.
so we need to vote on what day about what we want to do on both of them?
So the council has to act on or before November 16th. So to act within the timeline and not call a special meeting, the council would need to vote at the October 20th council meeting, would need to consider at the October 20th council meeting. But there has to be a public hearing prior to that.
Okay. Let's see. We have so many meetings coming up in the election. I don't even know a good time that we would have. Do we do both of them at the same public meeting? Or do I have to do it separate?
So it doesn't say that it can't be done at the same meeting. It simply says that a hearing by the city council or committee or subcommittee needs to be held. We need to send out notices to the first 10 people who signed the petition. We need to publish this in a local newspaper, not less than 7 days, not more than 14 days prior to the hearing. So I guess the first step would be someone to determine if the hearing is going to be held by the council or by a subcommittee.
Okay, do anyone in chairs have any thoughts about that? I mean, I know for myself, the first one, we chose to go back remote because of COVID, and this petition is that we don't do that.
Mhm. So, Madam
Councilor
President,
Forgy has her hand up.
yeah.
Yes, please.
So that particular one, I think my opinion, needs a full public hearing in front of all of the council.
All right, so
I
we'll just
feel
do-
that way about the second one as well. I don't think which subcommittee is going to be responsible for it? It
That's right.
we don't have a subcommittee whose function it is to deal with that. So I'm thinking that both of those things need to have public hearings in front of the council, full council, my opinion.
Okay, Councilor DeSorga?
Excuse me. I'd do them together. That would be my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
And so do we want to just do this at the October 20th meeting? Could we do it on the same night?
Councilor Mayo has his hand up. And
I'm
yes,
sorry,
yeah,
Council Mayor. Yep.
I agree with Councilor Forgy that it should be done at full council, both of them. And it just makes sense that, given the statement that was just made that, we don't have a subcommittee that deals with this specifically. So I think it belongs at full council.
so the charter says that the hearings on 2 or more petitions may be held on the same date and the same time and place. The charter does not say whether the hearing needs to be held on a separate date than council consideration. So because it doesn't preclude it, I would say that it is possible that you hold a hearing on the same night as consideration, whether you choose to or not.
Okay, let's,
Yeah, Madam President,
Councilor Forgy.
so on second thought, I'm just going to throw this out here. The first petition that is in regard to virtual meetings, it's asking for a charter change. Am I correct in that interpretation?
Right.
They
it
want
is.
to amend, the petition is to amend the charter.
Correct.
Having said that, the subcommittee that's working on it is appointments and ordinances. If there's a better brain out there than mine, I'm not, I don't have any objection if it goes to appointments and ordinances, but it has to go with a specific timeline to it because it's got the charter pieces in, and also, and I wonder, well, here's my other question too, and this is one for you, Kathy, I think. They're asking for charter change. We have specific rules about charter change. And it does have to be handled by the council. The council's the only one that can make a charter change. I don't know, for instance, we're in the middle of charter change right now that was put together by a was under citizen review and everything else. So my question would be, what would be the legal piece? What would be the legal piece to this in regard to the charter itself, the changes that are being made? I mean, I'm thinking that it's probably okay coming from a citizen's petition to the council to make the charter change. But I don't know whether there's language in the charter that specifically addresses this initiative, a citizen's initiative, a citizen's petition. I mean, there's lots of different things out there. I think the clear answer to this is that, yes, they can go ahead and do it, but because it's a charter change, it has to be acted on by the full council. And then if we accept the charter change, or the council votes to accept the charter change, then it's got to go to Boston and to the mayor and all those other steps. Am I correct in that?
I would agree with everything you just said. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
It is a
At the
charter
end of the-
change. It still does have to follow the process to officially, that you have to officially go through to make a charter change, which includes special legislation, governor's signature. Yes. Just also on a side note, Councilor Gilmore has joined the meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
welcome. Because this petition is basically about the governor not saying that right now there's a reason why we should be remote. So that's what this is about. And that could change as you can, if our numbers increase, that certainly could change in the meantime, but we just don't know at this point.
Well, that I think would be part of the discussion and deliberation that would take place within either A&O or in front of the full council. I guess the question for all of us chairs to answer this evening is, should it go to appointments and ordinances first on this month's agenda? Although, how do you reconcile that with the 5-day rule? I'm not sure at this point. But if we don't have the time to put it on the September agenda for A&O, it's got to go straight to council. There's really no choice.
Madam Clerk.
So if the will is to have A&O hold this, possibly the other public hearing also, A&O has a meeting on October 5th that it precedes the council meeting date in October. So they could always hold the public hearing on October 5th. Council consideration could be held on October 20th. But I do not believe, so I'm looking at the calendar. If the council wanted to hold the public hearing on October 22nd for the public hearing, then it's possible the council could vote the following month. That's another option. I just wanted to point it out.
Okay.
So if we do it October 22nd for both of them, then it would be on our November council.
October
I'm sorry.
22nd is a Friday, and I don't know if that's a really good day to have a public hearing.
I may have misspoke.
Did you mean September 22nd?
September 22nd for a public
Okay.
hearing,
Got it.
October 20th for council consideration.
Okay.
Okay.
And my devil's advocate here is not so much the first one, because that's on us, but on the second one about the commons.
Yes.
What happens if the council wants to somehow uphold what that petition's about.
So
It's not,
that is the email that I sent out,
right.
that the
back
mayor
in-
received a legal opinion
Yes.
and that I sent out to the council from Attorney Belcher-Timmy. So you all have that a legal opinion to review. Counselor 4G has her hand up.
Okay.
Okay, Council Pucci? Yep.
So after reading the attorney's opinion and everything else, it basically says that, and this is odd, it basically says that it has to go to us. We have to take a stand or no stand or whatever the vote comes out of council does not affect the mayor's decision at all as to what happens. So it's an opportunity for council to weigh in on that particular, I believe it's the Court Square
Right.
update and beautification and everything else, the green space piece.
Yes.
It would be opinion. It would be council opinion, and the
Right.
mayor would not be bound by council vote or opinion. But it would be an opportunity for the council to weigh in and for constituents to contact the council.
Okay, so let's just put it on the A&O September agenda.
So we don't have time to put it for A&O September. Would you like it on A&O October?
Yep, it's fine for me. That's what I wanted. That's
So-
what I said before. Okay.
Counselor Disorder has her hand up and I would look for clarification after her question.
Okay, Council Disorga.
I just had a question. How come, why did one have a legal opinion and the other didn't? We didn't need a legal opinion on both? It's just a question.
They both had legal opinion.
Okay, both. Okay.
Right.
So a specific legal opinion was not requested on the Charter Amendment 2.6. The mayor requested an opinion on the one for the city common. I did email and communicate with Attorney Belcher-Timmy for the process for the petition through Charter Section 7.6, but I did not ask for a legal opinion on the petition. So is the council A&O going to hold public hearing on both petitions on October 5th?
I say the same day. Yep,
Okay, A&O for both.
yep. October 5th. Okay. Okay, anybody
All right.
else have anything?
And then
Okay.
we will put it on the council agenda
For
for October 20th, correct?
For
Right.
full council vote.
For council consideration.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the next one is to transfer 41,100 from capital stabilization for Wisdom Way Engineering and Construction Administration Services.
I'll take that into Ways and Means.
Okay. Transfer 200,000 from OPED Stabilization Fund to the OPED Trust.
That belongs in Ways and Means as well.
Perfect.
And both of those will always also be a first reading on the council agenda.
Okay.
All right. Authorization to release city's right of title and interest of Paper Street located at 61-71 Montague City Road. That's
I can
is that the email we received today.
President Ricketts?
Yes.
That wasn't received today, but it is slated for the EDC meeting,
Mhm.
the September 8th EDC meeting.
Okay.
Which meeting is that? I'm sorry. EDC on,
Tomorrow.
EDC September 8th.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Appointment, Gretchen Green, Crossroads Cultural District,
Appointments and ordinances, I should think.
Yep. A&O.
Yep.
Presentation of Rapid Recovery Report.
So that was the report that was submitted
Yep.
by MJ on behalf of the mayor. And I had asked if there was action required. There was no action required. And I had asked if they wanted to make a presentation to a subcommittee. And I don't believe I received an email response, but I might have missed it. And I can follow up tomorrow with MJ and the mayor to find out what their preference is.
Okay. Did you have any thoughts about that, Council Disorder? Or
No, I did not.
no? Okay. All right. So Economic Development Committee, regular meeting Wednesday, September 8th, 6 o'clock via WebEx. The joint public hearing on zoning amendments with Planning Board.
Right.
The map for Colorado Avenue, the marijuana establishments, and release the right of title interest to Paper Street, 71 Montague,
Right.
and then proposed use to Hope Street parking lot. Is any of that incorrect or correct, or do you need anything?
I have all of that. I wasn't sure if Councilor Dolan reply that he'd like to come tomorrow?
I believe, excuse me,
Go
I
ahead.
believe he has, but I will double check with Tammy tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Do you need anyone else, Councilor Disorder, or are you all set?
I don't need anyone else. I just have one question for Kathy, and that is, everybody replied that they're able to come?
Yes. And I did also send 2 emails out today with correspondence from Eric. Just a little bit of an update. But
Thank you.
you all have everything you need. It's just email.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So let me see. So Economic Development Ways and Means Committee joint meeting Thursday, September 9th at 6 p.m. Current taxes at the TIFs. Is that all set? September 9th.
I believe that we're all set. Director Adams and Director Mew are in attendance, and I just, have we heard from everybody as far as attendance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're all set. And who's actually hosting that? I know it's a joint meeting. Is it Councilor DeSorga? Are you
I am.
kicking it off, or Councilor 4G?
I am.
Okay, Councilor DeSorga. Thank you. All right. So regular meeting Monday. Yeah. I was kidding, but no, it's right. Monday, September
Yeah.
13th at 5:30.
If I may,
Please.
so not on this agenda under Ways and Means or under the council, but it is going to be on there. There was an error on the agenda. Is the transfer for $10,000 for the Nash's Mill Road recreation repairs. It will be on Ways and Means and council. There will be a public hearing, second reading and vote. It's just not listed on this committee chair agenda. My apologies to you all.
Okay, Nash's Mill Road, okay. 10,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Kathy, what is the date of Ways and Means meeting?
Monday, let me look at the calendar. Monday, September 13th.
September 13th, Monday, Ways and Means at 5:30 or 6?
I believe it's supposed to be 5:30.
Okay, thank you.
That's the usual time.
Yep.
Knock on wood. Okay. Is
Okay,
that
no
correct?
problem.
Okay, good.
That's fine.
Okay, and so for that Ways and Means, it's the input of ARPA funding and then guidelines and types of expenditures allowed for their use. Well, you see the list under there. Is there anything that should be added or removed, or do we have everything?
We have everything. Some of them are redundant at this point. We'll just be reviewing them and crossing them off our list very quickly because I just want to remind people that we did review this and this was the outcome. And
Okay.
also, just to make sure, and I appreciate this, Kathy, very much, we are going to have a public comment at Ways and Means on. I know the law says on anything, but I would really love it if people could reel it into any kind of financial questions that they have.
Okay. So we could list on the agenda public comment,
Mhm.
and then we could always list something like it says here, input for use of ARPA funding to hopefully guide people to the topic.
Yes, but if a person has a different kind of a question, where are we on our revenue piece or whatever?
Okay.
That's
Okay.
an appropriate question as well. So I would just like anybody who's got a financial question or needs clarification on a financial issue to just feel free to comment at that particular time. And if we can get an answer for them, that would be great.
Okay,
So-
so anything financial.
I have a question. By narrowing the topic, doesn't that make it a public hearing instead of public comment?
No, I'm not asking to narrow the topic. What I'm saying is that public comment, people can talk about anything they want. I would just like to see financial issues, which, because we are Ways and Means, it's germane to what the committee does. Public
of
comment.
course.
If somebody just wants to step up and say, I don't like the sky being blue or whatever, they have a right to do that. I'm just asking the public to remember that we're Ways and Means. And
Yeah, I just
that,
thought it was a public hearing if we were saying that it was only on certain topics, but maybe I'm mistaken.
no, that's perfectly fine. It's legitimate.
Madam Clerk?
So generally, public hearing is something that's required by law or ordinance or charter or something like that. So this would be more of a public comment area like you have on the council agendas that people could discuss, as Councilor Forgy is saying, request a financial update. So we may be able to phrase it that there's public comment or financial updates or inquiries.
I think if the sky is blue, it belongs at CRE.
Okay.
And we will get that color changed immediately.
Yeah.
So,
Positive
Forgy,
representation.
do you have everyone you need invited to this meeting that you know of?
Yes, I know that we do have a few people that have been invited. I don't know if they're going to be available to attend. We'll just go with it.
Okay,
And we'll, if we cannot get them for this meeting, we'll get them for the next meeting.
perfect. Okay. All right, so moving on.
Counselor DeSorga has her hand up.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Jenny. Councilor DeSorga.
This is out of order, but I always have a question with that about attendance, what Chris just said. So the thing goes out and you ask everybody if they're coming, and then they ask them all to reply to you, which is appropriate. And then I thought, then I am thinking or worrying all month, do we have enough, like, did all the people reply? And I was wondering if that would be, this is off topic a little bit, but would it be possible for us to be notified, like 4 people said that they were going to come, Kathy?
Yeah, I can make a note of that.
As the committee
Sometimes
chair.
sometimes people don't reply until closer to the meeting. So, we don't always have an answer 2, 3, 5 days out, but we can maybe put an update, either an email to the committee chair or, yeah, we can do that. We can notify the committee chair.
It was just this particular month where we had so many date changes, and I would write in and say, yes, I could come. And then I thought,
Yeah.
Are my other members coming? I don't,
Right.
normally speaking, I'm not concerned about it, but sorry.
September's a little special.
Yes.
So are you asking about, I'm sorry, could I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Are you asking about your committee members or the people outside of the council that you're inviting to the meeting?
I was asking about our committee members
Okay.
Okay,
because it's always we don't reply all.
correct. And we don't always hear from all counselors either. They don't reply to anyone sometimes. But
Yes.
we can, I'll make a note and talk to Tammy about that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that question, Councilor DeSorga. All right. Appointments and ordinances. Tuesday, September 14th at 5:30. It's going to be the mayor's appointment and then the city charter amendments in modified language. And we're going to go over executive branch, legislative branch. Councilor Forgy, you're going to be doing lots of this, correct?
Yeah, I don't hold any official standing in A and O. I'm just doing the paperwork, the clerking, and trying to provide support to the committee. Counselor Gilmore, Counselor Wheeler, and myself we were asked to go ahead and put some things in or make comments as we went along, but we can't vote, we can't deliberate, we can just sort of guide and maybe give explanation for where that charter committee came to the conclusion that's included in the charter report.
Okay, so.
But just to clarify, I do get to vote because I'm on ANO. So.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But if you see me voting, it's not because I'm overstepping my bounds. I'm supposed to.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we make sure.
Following on Ginny's last piece. Yeah, okay.
We make sure Councilor Wheeler is invited to this as well.
Will do.
Okay, and Councilor Forgy, do you have something more?
Hang on a second.
No, take your time.
I think we are good. I'm looking at the charter pieces, and I'm looking at the way it's written out. And I know Dan isn't here to speak to it, but I think it's important that we put all the pieces of the charter change document on every agenda, because we just don't know how quickly they finish different articles. And so it's posted, it's there. If they decide on a stopping place, that's one thing, and they can continue it to the next meeting. But everything is there so that everybody's warned in advance that this is what the A&O is going to do.
Okay, perfect. And then maybe at that meeting also, we can go over some of these sections to see if we've discussed any of them already, or that each one of them really does need to be discussed. And
Kathy has her hand up.
go ahead,
So
Clerk Scott.
these are the sections of the charter that A&O has not made a recommendation on yet. I believe it was the intention of Councillor Gwynn to focus on the order that they are listed on this agenda. So as something has a
Okay.
recommendation by A&O, it will come off the A&O agenda and go on to the council agenda,
Okay,
theoretically. And so they'll just work their way down. But he did, like you said, want it all listed in case anything were to come up out of order.
okay. And so if they decide that some of these go to the council floor, will they go to the council floor for this month, or will they all go next month? Excuse me.
I can't say for sure if they would go to the council floor this month or not. I know that the attorney has had an opportunity to review the charter. Sorry, my brain just went for a second. The charter amendments that A&O has made a recommendation on. The attorney has had time to review those. So those would go on the council agenda for September. I'm thinking that whenever a recommendation comes from A&O, it should be reviewed by the attorney before it goes to the council. But given the timeline between A&O and council, I don't think there's always enough time for a recommendation to be on the council floor at the next meeting. So I think depending on the timeline and the attorney's ability, there may be a little bit of a lag between when A&O makes a recommendation and when it actually goes to the council floor.
Okay,
Just a thought.
perfect. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Councilor Gilmore or 4G, do you have anything else to add?
I'm all set. Thank you.
I am too. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Community Relations and Education, Monday, September 20th at 6 p.m. I don't know if you have any agenda item. I don't have anything in my head.
I do not.
Okay. So we can cancel that for this month. All right.
Okay.
All right, regular meeting, okay. City clerk report.
We're busy working with election contractors to get the ballot ready for November. Making sure we cross our T's and dot our I's. I have not received another re-precincting map from the state, although the census numbers have come out and Greenfield residence numbers have increased a little bit. We are 17,768 according to the federal 2020 census, which is about 300 more than the state had estimated. So our population has increased. As soon as I get that map, I will be on the phone to Eric Torog in the state, and we will set up a meeting with the state to talk about the precincts. And if we need to change any lines, precinct lines, it will not be the same map that you had seen a month or so ago.
Okay. Perfect.
Counselor Disorder does have her hand up.
Yep.
Did you also get the numbers of people per precinct?
No, ma'am, I do not. I don't have that.
Counselor Mayo.
You're
I
on
think
mute.
you're on mute. I'm sorry.
Clerk Scott, who's responsible for coming up with those numbers within the precinct?
So the data that was released to the state that they're going to use to draw the map from, they have that data. I frankly don't know how to find that data, but I haven't received it yet. I will receive a data drop when the map comes out, and that's what we'll use. So they'll tell me when that map comes out how many current people are in the precinct and the change. So I'll be able to look and see that it's increased or decreased by a certain percentage or number.
Okay.
And that's the data that we'll use when we are looking at the map to determine if sorry folks,
That's okay.
precinct boundaries need to change. We have to keep a balance or strike a better balance than we currently have for our precincts, because there are some much larger and there are some much smaller precincts. So that's one thing that this re-precincting will achieve.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Does anyone else have any questions on that topic before we move on?
I just want to clarify, make sure I understand. So my
Okay.
understanding is that if more people move into a precinct, then the footprint would have to shrink slightly to accommodate that. Is that correct?
So there's a couple of things, and I'm going to use an example. So precincts 1 and 2 currently have a larger number of residents than, say, precincts 8 and 9. 8 and 9 are our smaller precincts. 1 and 2 are our larger precincts. So the precinct boundaries will shift in, I'm going to say, a majority of the precincts to try to balance those numbers. Precincts 8 and 9 have 900 plus. Precincts 1 and 2 have 1,200 plus. So we're going to try to strike a balance so there isn't such a large difference between the number of people per precinct. People, not voters, people.
Okay.
Did that answer your question, Sheila?
I think it did. I think this is, it's complicated, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Right. Any other counselors have a question about this? Clerk Scott, do you have
Yes,
any
ma'am.
other news?
No,
No?
I'm good.
Okay, so council meeting September 22nd. Take from the table the Deerfield Street. That's the email we got today, I believe.
Who did that email come from?
Is that the one from the mayor did that come today that says, don't take it from the table? Am I right? I read it so quickly. Councilor Forgy, jump in, please.
While I appreciate that the efforts that are going on here, I do not believe that it's within the mayor's purview to tell the council to take something from the table or to leave it on the table. So, although the memo, the intent of the mayor is to ask for more time because she's working on something, I think the council should do what it needs to do.
Okay.
So I just want to make that really clear that, when we set agendas and everything else for our council meeting, and our chair meetings, it's really up to council what they want to do with the tabled item.
Perfect. So we will keep that on the agenda.
Thank
And
you.
then when it comes to the agenda night, you'll have that for Ways and Means. And
Thank
can
you.
Make your determination.
I'll bring my boxing gloves.
No, this is all good, just government.
Okay. So then amend Charter Article 1, Article 2, Legislative Branch, Section 2.1. These are all things that'll be discussed during A&O.
These are
And-
actually the ones that have already been recommended by A&O. The attorney has reviewed and they're now
Ready for,
ready for council. They were on the last council agenda, but the attorney had not had sufficient time to review the orders.
perfect. So now we can vote up or down, or we don't have to vote at all on some, right? We can not recommend.
Whatever the council decides to do.
Perfect. All right, so we'll have all of those. And then authorization to release city's right of title and paper street on Montague City Road,
I won't be long. We're done.
and the mayor's appointment. And then the first readings for the transfer for Wisdom Way, the transfer for OPED. And also there's the 100,000.
10,000.
10,000.
Yes, for
Look at me,
the
100,000.
recreation area.
10,000.
Marlo's laughing. He would really like that number.
Recreation.
We do good.
It's
work.
okay.
We
It's not
keep
going to
it in the
get by
budget.
Councilor 4G anyway.
Madam President, we do good work. We keep it in the budget.
Okay. Okay. So those are the first readings, and then that's all I have, unless I'm missing something. Does anyone have any questions? Any comments? So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Gilmore.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. See you every night.
Yeah, every night this week, yeah.
The meeting
Bye-bye.
is adjourned at 6:25.